Hey guys, this is my first video in a while. It's relatively unorganized, but I just wanted to get it out there. I just wanted to talk about last night at about 10 p.m. Eastern. I got the notice that Steve Jobs had resigned from Apple as CEO. He had stepped down, and now Tim Cook, their former COO, has taken his place. So, what does this mean for Apple? This raised a lot of questions. A lot of the press there's a lot of commotion last night and still today, and people are it really got people riled up and wondering, Apple was at its high point, it's at its peak right now. What does that do to them? What does that do for their shareholders? What does that do for the company, consumers? Geeks like myself who follow it, customer loyalty. Um, First off, I do want to say personally, as a shareholder, I honestly wanted to vote. I mean, if I had a chance, I would totally vote Jonathan Ive on as CEO. I already made a personal point in a post a while ago on this blog, so you can look down there. I won't talk too much about it, but I just think you'd be the better CEO. Not from a business standpoint necessarily, but as far as keeping the company the way Jobs like to run it, I would pick Jonathan Ive. But that's beside the point. The more important thing that people are talking about are what kind of changes would come to the company. Um, Honestly, I don't really see a whole lot of changes. I mean, for people like myself who have followed Apple for a long time, I even know the event schedule. When certain things come out. When the new iPods are coming out, that kind of thing. I mean, down to that. I mean, if you follow Apple that closely, you can see that it'd be just wrong to do it any other way for them. I uh, I just really can't see them changing the way they do things. I don't think Tim Cook would want to change that. I just I don't see any changes coming. Any changes, I'd probably do a video about it because it'd be news to me if anything changed. That's as simple as I can put it. I don't see any huge changes coming up. But I mean, say there were some bad changes. I can't name a few or any at all. Frankly, I mean, I can't tell the future obviously, but we'll take RIM for example, Research in Motion, a company that makes BlackBerry, and BlackBerry was the cell phone, the product to have. Everybody knows that. That it was like, you had a flip phone or you had a BlackBerry. BlackBerries were the business phone, and now the new standard is iOS and Android, running phones running iOS and Android, and RIM's left in the background. I mean, hardly anybody wants a BlackBerry. The only reason they have a BlackBerry is because their company, they get a deal with RIM, and they all buy Blackberries, and all their servers are compatible. I mean, my friend's mom works for a company. She has a BlackBerry and an iPhone because her company has to have her to have the BlackBerry, and she likes the iPhone better. So the iPhone is now the prime product, or Android, I guess too. I am stuck with one, frankly. But what if they made some bad decisions? What if Tim Cook did something that really turned off consumers? And what if they ended up being the next RIM? RIM can't even get the playbook to get off the shelves without one having an issue with it, and two, I mean, I don't know how much market share it has, but it's almost a joke that they can't even get a product off the ground. And their new phone is supposed to be $300, which I don't see attracting consumers very well, considering that their competitors are $199, I think $200 for an iPhone or a Droid or something like that. You know, could Apple become the next RIM? In business, obviously, in anything's possible. Um, I think it would take a lot longer than it's definitely not going to happen within a year. Changes like that don't happen overnight. I mean, RIM got beat out pretty slowly, which I think is why they adjusted so poorly, and why they failed. They're pretty done. Honestly, they'll still keep. They probably won't be bankrupt anytime soon, but their market share is pretty gone. But will that happen to Apple? That's a big question that people may or may not be thinking about in the back of their mind. As shareholders, as just geeks looking out for the company. Maybe it'll become the next RIM. I would hate to see that because Apple's probably my favorite. I'd love to work there one day. It's like my favorite thing. It's Apple. What more can I say? But that would be sad to see if it ended up turning off consumers, making just products you're wondering why did they do that. If their market share went down, because as is they don't have a huge market share. But that'd be an interesting thing to see, and it's very possible. But would Steve Jobs' retirement or resignation be the cause of that? Who knows? It could have happened anyway. Now I'm going to go on. I want to end on a positive note, so I'm going to talk about What he left behind. What did he leave behind? The most recent thing I can think of is the giant spaceship they're building, also known as their new headquarters. That's supposed to hold. I think I watched the video for the proposal of it. 12,000 people. I mean, that's a huge freaking building, and they're building this. Looks kind of like the Star Trek Enterprise. I wasn't a big Star Trek kid, but everybody knows what that looks like. But it's just a big glass circle donut looking thing, and it's ridiculous. I mean, some people thought it was some kind of joke that they just kind of put out these blueprints as just like a spoof, but they're actually making this thing, and that's one of the things he left behind. He started to get very big on glass. He said that he liked it, and I was watching the proposal, and it seems like kind of a memorial for him. I don't think he intentionally made it to be like that, but yeah, it just that's the way it kind of came off to me. It's just something remember him by. He kind of geared toward that being built. He certainly left behind a very successful company. It's interesting that he left it in its peak. For those of you who don't know, he obviously left because of health issues. He probably wants to be with his family because he has a terminal illness. Pancreatic cancer is. I'm pretty sure no one to date has survived it, or they obviously don't have a cure. But he left it in its prime. The company is more valuable than ExxonMobil, a gas company. And in this day and age, as much as the gas industry is slowly declining as alternative energy starts to kick up a little bit, that's still that's a huge deal that it's the most valuable company in the world and surpassing everything else. That's a huge deal. They also have more cash than the United States government at the moment. Frankly, 76 point. I think it is $3 billion. Correct me if I'm wrong. One decimal point isn't going to hurt anybody, but $76 billion is an unfathomable amount of money. That's more than one person could possibly spend, unless you want to go buy a country. But, he left behind a company that he brought from, I believe it was the 1990s. It started to kind of fail. When they brought him back on, the company was immediately, I think within 2 or 3 years, it was just booming. Business was booming. It was back. Steve was the heart of the company. He ran the company very well. He held it together. He was the glue that was holding it together because he kept everything disciplined. If something went wrong, he was on top of it. He was making sure that the people that deserved to be punished for it were punished. Made sure that it didn't happen again. I'm pretty sure he really freaked out about Mobile Me. There was a lot of articles about that on some blogs about how he freaked out over that. He had a lot of business sense, but he also was he was sort of sentimentally attached to his company in a way that he could make sure it was run the right way. In his mind, the right way. And obviously, it turned out to be the right way. They're doing great. Tim Cook coming on as CEO is in a very good spot. I don't have much else to say about that. I'm going to go eat my toast. Go ahead and email me. I'm going to leave my email address below. Email me your thoughts about, Steve stepping down. What do you think is going to happen? Any changes you think? I might make a follow-up video with, including some of your comments and elaborating on some of your ideas and things. What do you think might happen to Apple? Are they going to stay the same? Who did you want to be CEO? Because I know not that I'm not a fan of Tim Cook, but I personally like Jonathan Ive better. But before I get to 9 minutes, I'm going to stop talking. I'll see you in my next video or post. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'll see you on my blog.